All right, we are live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for the little bit of a delay. It took a little bit longer than I anticipated. My name is Chris. This is my channel, We Love Comics. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that every single month I am able to, thanks to a deal I made with PGX, send in 4 books to be graded each month. It includes the grading process, includes pressings, dry cleanings, signature verifications if necessary, and also the graded notes added on the back, which is one of the things that I recommended to Daniel Patterson of PGX, which he added that you guys can add as well. They only charge $5 if you want to add grader's notes to the back of your slab. I personally like it because it makes the graders more accountable because it's right there for you to see. So if you look in the description of this and every video, if you use the code We Love Comics graders notes, like I said, for a $5 charge with PGX, you can add graders notes to the back of your book. And also, if you look in the description for the it's We Love Comics graders notes. I'm sorry, We Love Comics free press. If you send 10 or more books into PGX, you can get one of them pressed for free if you use that code. So it's my way of saying thank you. Now, obviously, I don't get paid by PGX, so I don't have to say anything unless I truly believe in it. So my experiences are my own. Yours may differ with any company. So I don't have any contracts that I signed because I don't get paid, but they were kind enough to do 4 comics a month as a nice little deal. So check out the description for those discount codes, and also check out all the other things like the cashback program. Sign up for it and spend $20 or more within the first 90 days and you'll get a $20 cashback bonus. Also, make sure if you signed up when it was the $40 cashback bonus, make sure you spend that $40 or more within the first 90 days of that sign up, because even though that program of the $40 is still is over, if you signed up before it ended and you spend that money within the first 90 days, you will still get the $40 cash back. So take advantage of that so you don't lose that extra $20 or a total of extra $40 if you don't sign up. All right, so with that out of the way, let me put on the video camera so you can see my mug and you can see my comics. Now, of course, I will tell you what they are, any significance. All the books I send in have significance, so I will not send generic books in to get graded with this 4-book deal that I have with PGX. I will tell you the price I paid for it, so this way you get a general idea. Now keep in mind, some of these I bought years ago or used eBay bucks, for example, so the prices that I show may not reflect what the current market is. So that's why I always say do your own research, and then I'll predict what I think the grades will be. Now that is based on after they've been pressed and dry cleaned. So when you see them, you might look at it and say, hey, it's not that grade that you're talking about. I'm speculating what it will be after a pressing and dry cleaning. So with that out of the way, let's see how close and accurate I am. And 8 people already hit the like button, so thank you for that. I always appreciate those that view my channel to actually do that. It's a very kind gesture. And also, don't forget, stay until the end, join the live chat, because I picked 2 random people that are in the live chat to be today's surprise subscriber shoutouts. If you are picked, you can either post your YouTube channel in the comments section if you have one, or a video if you want, or if you don't have a YouTube channel where you make videos, if you have an eBay auction site you want to promote, or a Instagram or any other social network, I will have to verify them first, make sure they're appropriate. But if you see the links, that means they have been verified. Go check them out, give them a like, give them a view, maybe check out their auctions if they're selling them, but I'll leave it up to you guys. And any of my moderators in the live chat, you can do that every time you are moderating. So let's get the show on the road. First one is one of the few books I've done multiple times. I just got this recently, so if you've been watching my videos, you know all about this book. Absolutely have to get this graded because it's just a matter of time now before they start announcing actors for Wolverine and movies and where he's going to appear. So the time to get this book is now. If you have not already purchased this book, I highly recommend it. It is one of the most undervalued Bronze Age books out there, in my opinion, especially when it comes to Marvel. And if you can see the beautiful colors of this book, this is Hulk number 180, which is the first appearance of Wolverine. Now, it's a cameo because it's the last panel. But this book is a key book and will not stay cheap, because trust me, once they start making these announcements and they start getting the movies back going on a regular schedule, 181, which is his first full appearance and the first time you see him on a cover, that's the most desirable book. But that book is going to be so out of the realm of financial possibility for many people after that. I mean, I'd predict a 0.5 will get as high as $900 to over $1,000, in my opinion, in the next 5 years. We'll see what happens. But what'll happen is everybody will start gravitating to this book, and then it will see its day. So if you think this book is expensive now, wait until they start making the movies. And especially if they do it justice, and I will give Marvel and Disney the benefit of the doubt, and we'll see where it goes. But obviously make sure you have the Marvel stamp in this book. That is key, because if that little stamp is not there, it will come back qualified, green label, as incomplete, but it will not affect the story. I did check this, and I opened it in the video, so if you haven't seen it, you're more than welcome to check it out. But the Marvel stamp is there, so this book is intact. This one definitely needs a pressing and dry cleaning, because there is an indent here. That just means that somebody stacked too many books or laid them down flat, and it caused that little indent, so that could easily be pressed out. There is a minor, like, quarter-inch right there, little color break. That's not going to mark it down major. There's maybe 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure if they're color breaks or part of the artwork, because where you see the line, there's actually a line of color that's part of the cover. So I'm not sure if those are actually breaking creases or part of the artwork. I guess we'll find out. But overall, this looks really good. Now, I bought this book. It was newly listed with a buy it now. And when I saw the price, I jumped on it. Because even if this comes back a 0.5, which it absolutely will not, I'm going to make out like a bandit even now before any announcements. And that's why I always tell people, never give up on especially grails or mega key issues, because this is a mega key issue. And I only paid $249.99. And this is a upper mid-grade book. I am going to predict this book to be around a 5.5 to a 6.5. Again, that's after pressing and dry cleaning. I know it would be lower if it was just the way it is, but I'm basing it on what I think it will be after a pressing and dry cleaning. So it's got about off-white to white pages, so 5.5 to 6.5. If it comes back a 5.0, I'm going to be extremely happy. So deals are always out there. Never give up. And I just got that book recently. So it's not like I bought it 5 years ago. I bought it about less than a month ago. And somebody was selling it for $249.99. And that's including shipping and handling, because you have to factor that into the price. All right. One of the things I've noticed lately is a certain trend about books. And I'm going to explain it when I show this. So I actually started going through, 2 of my comic boxes. I got many, as you can see, just some right along here, long boxes. But this is a book I'm going to get graded. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 300, and the reason why I was checking some, and I got plenty of boxes to go, is this one is a newsstand variant. Now, if this was not the newsstand variant, you would see an image of Spider-Man's head. It would be just basically that. And it would say 30th anniversary on it. This is the newsstand, which they're starting to finally recognize the value of the newsstand variant as opposed to the direct edition. The direct edition was basically getting them at comic book stores. Newsstand is just that. They're on the newsstand, which means they're on news racks or places like, 7-Eleven on shelves, so they could get bent more and damaged more. Because, you put them in a comic shop, the comic book seller is going to take a much more care for these books. Newsstand variants, some clerk at 7-Eleven who's got 5,000 different things they got to put on the shelves is not really going to care about a $3-4 comic. And at the time, this book was $1.50. Now, I actually was lucky enough back in the days to buy 2 of these for cover price. One of them I actually got myself, signed by Todd McFarlane. This isn't one of those 2 books. But I only paid $155.20 for this book. Now, after a pressing, this one's hard to grade. It's only got one spine, well, two spine ticks, but they're very minor. They're less than an eighth of an inch. Back looks pretty decent, but this will, again, benefit from a pressing because of the fact there is that indent. I'm just going to say lower. It's probably going to come out higher than what I'm predicting, but I would rather be wrong and it be higher than wrong than be lower. So I paid, like I said, I paid $155.20 for this book. I'm going to predict about an 8.5 to a 9.2. And we'll see where that goes. So if you see, especially in the 80s, 90s, if you see this barcode, they're starting to separate as far as value, and people are starting to recognize. Now, I really think that grading companies should be posting that these are newsstand variants. So I hope they will do that. But obviously, you'll know it by the barcode. I have a video that talks more about that in deeper detail. So especially, like for example, an older book, you might see the barcode and then see a line through it. So if you want to know what that is, go to my tips and advice video and check that out, and it gives a further detail. All right, this is another one of the few books I was able to get recently. It's really been months since I was able to get some books, but I ended up selling a couple of comics to one of my people that used to go to my flea market who kept my number and email address, and I sold a couple of books, made some money, and then I put these on the PayPal where you get the credit, 6 months, makes it very easy. So this was claimed to be a 9.8, we'll see what happens, but this is a triple signed New Mutants 98. It was signed by Chris Claremont, McLeod, and Naliza. I'm not sure if it's Naleza or Naliza. So there are 3 different signatures with 3 different colored inks, which I thought was cool. 1 silver, 1 gold, and 1 black. Does not have Liefeld, but that's okay. A triple signature. Now, like I said, this person said between a 9.6, and they said they can't guarantee it, but they wouldn't be shocked if it was a 9.8. We'll see what happens. So I'm going to say between 9.6 and 9.8 like they predicted. I only paid $365 for this book. This book is already starting to see increases because of the fact that they have officially confirmed, I mean, we knew that there's going to be Deadpool in the MCU. I mean, that's not really a surprise if you've been following comics for the past probably 2 or 3 years at this point. But once it's official, all the people that don't really pay attention or don't focus on that at all get that information, and what do? They go out and buy the books. Demand increases, prices go up. Now, I know a lot of people will say, oh, it's got a large print run. Print run has nothing to do with value, because when you have supply and demand, if there is more of a demand than there is a supply, the prices will go up. You know, Amazing Spider-Man 300 is not a small print run, but look at the values of that book. Now, obviously, when it comes to Copper Age and modern books, you want minimum 9.6, and you definitely want to try and get a 9.8 because those are the most desirable. I mean, most people are not going to pay through the nose for a 3.0 Amazing Spider-Man 300, even though they're out there. But do not mistake a large print run for an undervalued book. Because if, let's say, for example, the print run of Amazing Spider-Man 300, let's just say it's around 4 million, which would probably sound about right at that time, between 2 million and 4 million. So let's go on the low end. Let's say, well, no, let's go on the high end. Let's say there's 4 million copies of Amazing Spider-Man 300. First of all, plenty of them have gotten damaged. Plenty of them have gotten lost or thrown away. Plenty of them, you know, end up with water stains and, you know, all different kinds of damage and disappear over time. But let's just say 4 million are intact. Well, if you have 5 million people that want those 4 million books all around the world, then you have a deficit of 1 million books for the amount of people who want them. Now, if you're like me, you may have multiple copies. I have probably about 6 or 7 copies of Amazing Spider-Man 300, and I know many YouTube channels that have several copies themselves. So that makes it even harder for people to get because there is less out there. It's not like every person only gets one of them. A lot of times people get multiple issues of key books, especially if you can find them at discounted prices. Like I said, the day they came out, I bought 2 copies. So don't ever think that just because something may have a high print run, that automatically means that the price is not going to be worth what it is. So you'll see, once they start getting more back into the Amazing Spider-Man, and they start getting the Venom, especially if Venom appears in the MCU, I mean, fingers crossed, I'd love to start seeing that. That may be a possibility. That book is just going to get more and more desirable. I mean, it's got one of the most copied covers, probably, of all comic book history. It's a 25th anniversary. It's the first full appearance of Venom. Todd McFarlane's first, not artwork, but he also inked it as well. There's just a lot to that book to make it very desirable. But again, it's got a high print run, but it's still valuable. So, like I said, the New Mutant 98 triple signed, I paid $365. I'm going to predict the 9.6 to 9.8, which is what the seller claimed it to be. And, of course, white pages. Last but not least, and thanks again to the 19 people that hit the like button. I really appreciate that. Stick around because I will be picking the surprise subscriber shoutouts. There will be 2 of them. Now, this book I got with my eBay bucks back in January of 2016. I sent this to CGC to get graded, and this was before I ever even heard of pressings. This book could potentially become a 9.8 book if the pressing and dry cleaning is applied to this. So I sent this raw to CGC, and it came back a 9.4. This is Batman Adventures 12. First ever appearance of Harley Quinn. I look at this book, there are no color breaks, there are no ticks, nothing. Front and back looks beautiful. The only thing I see... No, that's even on the cover. Yeah, because there's this little white dot. But as you can... I don't know if you'll be able to see it. But as I move the paper, that dot moves. So that's not on the comic. I paid a grand total, after eBay bucks, I paid $45 for this book. And I'm including the grading fees sending this to CGC, because it cost about $25 all said and done to get this graded, because it's a modern book, so that's $18 plus some shipping, and I know I sent a bunch of other books. So roughly about $45 for this book. It was a CGC 9.4 with a pressing and dry cleaning. This could become between a 9.6 to 9.8. We'll see what happens, but that is a big jump between a 9.4 and a 9.8 if it gets there. Like I said, I do not see anything wrong with this book, so pressing will probably fit. Maybe there's a little bend or anything. I've been looking this up and down. Like I can see actually right here, there's an indent, but it's not color breaking. So that's probably what gave it the 9.4, because it's hard to see, but if you reflect it in the light, sometimes you could see the little bounce of the light. So a pressing will absolutely get that out. So I am actually going to crack this open to get that pressed, dry cleaned, and regraded. Now, whether you do it or not, that's up to you. If you think that's crazy to go from CGC to PGX, you know, that's fine. You have that right to that opinion. Not everybody is going to think that CGC is great for everything. The reason why I'm not just submitting it to CGC is they do not have in-house pressing. It means they have to ship it somewhere else. They're also more expensive. And like I said, because I have this deal with PGX, they will press it, they will grade it, they will dry clean it for free and put the grader's notes, because I do these videos to promote their service. So for me, all the money I'm saving makes it worth it, especially if I can upgrade it to a higher grade, because this book was never pressed. And I know that because I submitted that book to myself before I ever heard of pressings and dry cleaning. So we'll see where it comes back. I still have 2 months of books that they still have, so they are definitely delayed. So I can't say that's normal because, you know, what's going on in the world, there are delays all over the place, especially when you had the all the mail-in votings for the president's election. So that just delayed everything. So I'm going to give them a pass for that. Hopefully they will fix that up after the new year. And maybe once, you know, the world allows us to run normal again, or at least as close to normal as possible, things can speed up. But there are delays. Keep that in mind. I'm sure that's with all companies. But like I said, I'm not going to complain because considering the deal I have, if it takes a little while, as long as they return to me safely, I'm happy. And every single time I've gotten them, the packages, not once was a package ever damaged, because they do an amazing job with the packaging. And I've been sending books every month now for over 3 years. So I have a whole playlist of all books that I have sent with my predictions and what I got back with the results. So if you want to see for yourself, you get a better opinion by watching things and hearing your own testimonials and seeing proof than people that just make speculation and talk about a company that they may not like. You know, if you're going to get honest information, you really want to do your own research. I'm not telling you you have to deal with PGX. I'm saying is they are an option if you're looking to save some money. If you're looking for a place that has everything in-house, they have in-house pressing and dry cleaning. They have in-house signature verification. They are the cheapest of the three major. Are they going to be the ones that sell the highest? Absolutely not. CGC is number one in that department. But CGC is not always your best option. That's why I say do your own research. Because like I've said before, if, like for example, this book I'm sending in, it's already signed. This is triple signed, New Mutants 98. If I was to send this to CGC, it would come back a green label, qualified, where it will say writing on the front cover. That will not benefit you with a sale, because trust me, I bought a signed book. It was Invincible #1 that was signed, and they sent it in the CGC, and it came back a green label. I paid... And it was an auction, so it wasn't a buy now. I paid half of what the value was. I think at the time, a 9.8 Invincible #1 first print was roughly, I think at the time, about $900 to $950. I paid $425. So sending that book to CGC with that green label hurt it, because there were no other bidders. I was the only one. And it's because I knew what the signature looks like, I bought it. As a matter of fact, do I have it here? Yes. All right, speak of the devil. Just so you can see I'm not just making stories. Invincible #1, first print. 9.8, green label. And as it says, name written on cover in marker. So because this is a green qualified label, nobody bid on it. So all I have to do, and I will get this resubmitted, because they did mark it in 9.8. And speaking of which, there is a little bit of a color break right in the corner, because people were complaining about the PGX 9.8 Ultimate Fallout 4. And look, oh, CGC still gave it a 9.8. So, you know, some people just like to complain just to complain, but it's going to be hard to see, but there is a little bit, which is allowed with a 9.8. Remember, a 9.8 is not perfect. It will be allowed to have minor flaws. So, you know, like I said, there are people out there that, for whatever reason, base their information on rumors and group thought. If you want to be one of those people, you're never going to be truly informed. You're most likely going to be misinformed. That's why I always say do your own research, and that's why every month I have a video of books that I'm sending out, and now it's probably about every month and a half to 2 months I get them back, but sometimes they'll send 2 of them within a 2-week period, so they do catch up when they can, but at least then you can get your own opinions based on information. The reason I do those videos live is this way I'm not editing it, I'm not switching anything, I'm not trying to do any tricks or manipulate, I'm just saying here it is, this is what it is, make your own opinion. That's the best way to make an opinion. Not just hearing a bunch of people that pat each other on the back and say, oh, well, I like or dislike this because that's the cool thing to do and say. That's not going to help you. So watch my video on my playlist under comic tips and advice. I did about an hour-long video of my review of all three major companies, CGC, PGX, and CBCS, and I gave the plus and minuses, the benefits and the negatives of each company, and I gave it through my own honest opinion. Now keep in mind, that is my opinion. You don't have to follow it. So, as you'll see, there will be people that, because it's about PGX, there will be the people that will be the what I call negative Nancy's, and that's fine. But I want to tell the rest of you that are looking for honest opinions, do your own research, base things on your own personal experiences, not just what other people say. And that includes me. Don't base it on what I say. Base it on your own experience. Because if you try something and it doesn't work, well, you could say, all right, that was a fluke. Let me try it again. But if it happens again, then you could say, all right, that particular product, that particular brand, that particular company, that particular service is just not for me. That doesn't mean it's the devil. It doesn't mean another one's an angel. So, as usual, I am ranting, and I know some like that. Some could care less. So we're going to do today's surprise subscriber shout-outs. If you want one, you don't even have to be a subscriber. You just have to be a part of the live chat. But hopefully I will get one of your subscriptions. So we're going to start out with Nelvis Eats. He was the first one to comment. He says, am I finally first? Yes, you are. So you are getting today's surprise subscriber shout out. Hopefully you're still here to see that. And we're going to also pick out George Brown Staff. You are the second surprise subscriber shout out. And Kellis says, Chris, have you ever sent a comic to CGC signing? No. I've sent books to CGC, but I've never sent them for a specific signing. I have gotten books at comic stores when I used to live in New York. I used to go to this one comic book store, and they would have artists every now and then, and I would get them signed, and they were affiliates with CGC, so I would get them signed, and then they would send it to CGC, so they would come back to yellow labels. So I guess technically then the answer is yes, but I've never specifically mailed them out to a company that does the signatures. So hopefully that answers your question, even though it might not be as direct as what you wanted. So those are the surprise subscriber shout-outs. If those two are still here and you hear that, that means you're one of my power viewers or ultra power viewers. You can post the link to your YouTube channel, or if you have an Instagram instead or a social network, if you'd rather post that, or if you would rather do an eBay account, you are more than welcome to do that. I'll let you pick. So if you see the links, ladies and gentlemen, that means they have been approved. So go check them out. It's a good way to help the comic book community. I don't pick anybody as favorites. I don't try and like shout out a friend or anything. I just randomly pick people I do not know. I don't even know if they have YouTube channels or not. It's my way of helping the community and my way of saying thank you for taking the time to watch my videos. So thank you to the 25 people that hit the like button. Hopefully my advice helped a little bit, and maybe you enjoy watching my videos regardless of what I do. And I thank you for participating. So I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day, and do not forget, it is not you, it is not I, it is We Love Comics. I'll be sending out these 4 comics today, and they'll probably come back in about 2 or 3 months, but better late than never. Have a great day. I'll try and make another video before Christmas, but if I don't, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I should be doing more videos because I probably will be doing my top either 20, 30, or 50, depending on how many books I find that I got this year. I do that at the end of every year. So expect that video before the year ends, because I don't think I'm going to be getting any more key books at this point. But you never know. Thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for being in the live chat. Thanks for hitting the like button. And I'll see you next video.